Our next algebra lesson is called Sets and Problem Solving. Our goals for this lesson are to recognize and use set notation to describe sets, find intersections and unions of sets. Okay, we've talked about sets before. Solving problem requires that we think deductively. In previous math classes, you may have studied sets and Venn diagrams. The purpose of this lesson is to review concepts related to sets. It will also acquaint you with what is meant by the term truth set. Essentially, a truth set is a subset of elements that fits a description or has a desired characteristic. Sets are collections or groups of objects. A seashell collection, a stamp collection, or the alphabet are some examples of sets. Another example might be a list of temperatures. Okay, these are called braces. Whenever they have that little hook in the middle, those are called braces. And this is what we use to enclose sets. If you look at your computer, right beside the P, if you push the shift button, those are the sets. Those are the braces. That's what we use to enclose sets. A capital letter is a good way of naming a set. You can define a set by listing all the elements in that set. For instance, let A equals the set 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 12. Okay? Once a set is defined, we can ask questions about the nature of the members of that set, called elements. So if you look at that set, A equals 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, and 12, each thing in braces is an element. Okay? This sort of, if you can think of it as a letter E, well, you might not be that imaginative. It's all right. A variable is used to represent any random or unknown element. Consider the statement, X is an even natural number in set A. What elements in set A could replace X? Well, look at that set, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 12. The only one that's even is 12. So we would say that for this rule or statement, T equals 12. So the truth set is T. The symbol, it looks like an E. This right here means element. This means is an element of. Okay. I have A equals 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, and 12. Okay, and I said that X is an even natural number in set A. So I look at my set, which one's even? This is the only one that's even. So T is truth set. The truth T equals 12. 12 is the only possible number it could be because it's the only element in A that is even. Okay? I could say 12 is an element of A because 12 is an element of set A. 12 is an element of set A. Okay? T equals 12 is the replacement set or truth set for the unknown variable X that makes the statement true. Okay? Now, if this means is an element, what do you suppose that means? That means is not an element of. The above example indicates sets can have subsets. 12 is a subset of set A. Alright? The two most common ways of identifying a set are listing the actual elements, that's what we did here, or enough to understand the pattern of the elements in a set, and defining a property of rule with which you can test any element to see if it belongs in a set. Okay. So let's do this. Example 1. The set of vowels. Okay, the set of vowels. A, E, I, O, and U. And you guys can argue about why. Anyway, I can say the set of vowels, that describes what's in my set, or I can list them. Okay? Those are the two ways of defining a set. Example 2, I can say the natural numbers, or I can say 1, 2, 3, ... because natural numbers start with the number 1, right? Okay. Those are the two different ways of defining a set. Okay. Example 3, the set of even numbers can be defined by the rule all numbers divisible by 2. For example, S equals X such that X is divisible by 2. Example 4, the set of senators in the United States Senate is defined by a property they have in common. Okay, the empty set. If I have two braces beside each other, that means the empty set, which is how you have to do it on your computer. This also means the empty set. You don't have a key on your computer that does that. So to do the empty set on your computer, you're going to have to do this one. Or I can just write empty set. These are three different ways of saying the empty set. Obviously, empty set means it doesn't have any elements. Okay? The empty set is a subset of every set. Okay? You have to remember that. Okay. A union of sets is a way to relate two or more sets. A union of sets, A and B. Union starts with a U. U, that means union. Okay? Union A and B means that we put all the sets in A and all the sets in B together, and that's union AB. Okay, so A union B. We'll say that A equals 15, 18, 77, and 145. And we'll say that B equals 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 77. Okay. So A union B equals and I would write all of these numbers in order. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 15, 18, 77, and 145. 77 is in there twice, but I only list it once when I put the union of the sets. Okay? So union means I list all the elements in both sets. Alright? What if set A were 1, 2, and 3, and set B were 2, 4, and 6? What would A union B be? Okay. Did you say 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6? If you did, you were correct, because you list all the elements in both sets. Okay? Now let's talk about a different one. Let's talk about the intersection of sets. Intersection, that kind of looks like an N, if that will help you remember it. That means intersection. That means we're only talking about the items that are in both sets. Okay? So if this says, man, they use large sets, don't they? If they say M equals -8, 0, 5, 17, and 33, and they say G equals -20, -8, 1, and 17. I'm leaving a few out there. What is M intersection G? M intersection G equals, let's see, they both have a -8. They both have a 17. Those are the only ones alike. So my intersection is going to be -8 and 17. Okay? Because on intersection, I'm only listing the ones that they both contain. Alright? Remember, intersection looks like an N. Union looks like a U. Okay? Go ahead and click Show Problems. Let's look at these. Number 1. Sets are enclosed with parentheses. Is that true or false? Well, you should have put that one's not true. How am I going to do that? There are 5 questions here. Okay, the first one is false. The second one, that E is the symbol meaning is an element of. Do you remember? That's true. That E looks like element, if that will help you remember. So we need T on the second one. The O with a line through it is a symbol meaning empty set. What do you think? That is true. A is an element in the set of Arabic numerals. Well, let's count. Stop me when I get to A. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You'll never come to A, right? Okay, so that's false. The last one, the subset O with a line through it is an element in any set. Okay, you should have put true. Okay? Number 3. Go ahead and go to number 3. True or false? Every set is a subset of the empty set. Well, let's see. I have an empty set here. Okay. It says every set is a subset of the empty set. Okay. T. Is T a subset of the empty set? No. So that's false, right? The empty set has no subsets. Go to number 5. I don't remember us talking about that today. Let me look. Just a second. Let me look through here. Did I skip something? Okay, that was on your video. Okay.
Is a proper subset of.
Now be quiet. What do you think? Number 5 is true. Number 7. If A equals the rationals and B equals the irrationals, then A union B equals what? If I have all the rational numbers and all the irrational numbers, I have all the real numbers. So you should have said real numbers. Okay? Go through that. Make sure you review that slideshow, review this lesson, and finish your lesson.